Greetings and welcome to episode 186 of the Words About Gamescast, a weekly video game podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy Alexander. I'm joined this week by Mr. Moody.
How you doing, everybody?
Hey!
Don't know why I went American there, but whatever.
Hey, y'all! How's it going? Root toot toot toot. I don't know how Americans talk. You think I would with all the sitcoms I watch.
Supposedly English, but we don't know.
I mean, I can never... Yeah, sure. I guess that's true. But they don't know how to say aluminium, Moody. They don't know how to say aluminium.
They don't know how to say tomato.
They don't know how to say tomato.
No.
Tomato.
Don't know what a biscuit is.
Fuck.
They don't know what a crisp is.
And I'll tell you what, your chips compared to my chips, just nah.
That's a
Get out of here.
fries.
Get out of here, you fries and your chips and your aluminum. So now that we've successfully alienated all the people watching this, an entire country of people who are watching this podcast, how are you, Moody?
I'm good. I'm very good.
It's good.
Been busy, but yeah, I'm very good. Excited for next week for myself. I'm doing game jam at my college next week, so gonna be looking forward to that.
Are you gonna put up like a... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, sorry, go on.
Are you gonna put up a cool game on your Twitter?
Gonna do something
that I can review.
Cool.
In my patented style.
Will it be something that's playable? Who knows? We will find out. Ask the question on Friday after about 3:00, and I'll give you the answer.
We'll do. I might be in a drunken, depressed state because it's the day after the election. I might just be like catatonic downstairs, surrounded by gin bottles. Or one, because I don't drink. So I reckon if I just popped the top off a gin bottle and sniffed it, I'd probably be halfway there.
I won't lie. I am hoping that whatever happens, that Friday traffic should be light. That people are just going to be so annoyed.
Yeah.
Then they're going to be like, I ain't going into work today. Screw that.
People are either going to be celebrating or depressed. In which case, traffic should be okay.
Pubs should be open late.
Pubs,
even though by law they're not allowed.
yeah. Well, if you can get licenses, it's fine.
Yeah, true.
I'm looking for cool, man. That's so cool about that game jam. It's your second year in college, right?
Yeah, and it'd be my 4th game jam.
Damn.
I did 2 last year, and I've done 1 earlier when I started back this year as a refresher course, basically.
Okay.
They just said, "Yo, game jam, motherfuckers."
Game jam, motherfuckers.
Get back to work. So, have you been studying over the week, over the summer holidays? No, sir, I didn't. No. I'm so sorry.
I've been watching films. I've been promoting this podcast with the wrong energy. I got a fucking game dev open here some weeks. No air quotes.
Quotation mark.
No air quotes. I got movie podcasting, game deving, awesome. Fourth adjective, cool person. Yeah. Suave motherfucker.
No one's ever said that. I'm going to say that on my podcast.
You're allowed. It's official. Because I bequeath that nickname upon you. I'm looking forward to next week because it's the last week where we're doing normal, a normal set of videos, because the week after I'm doing Game of the Year. And then I'll have 2 weeks of doing your videos.
Nice. Yeah, that's my aim for me. Basically, I'm doing the news this week, and then it's basically decade year, game of the year, film of the year, and then anticipated, and then I'm done.
Nice.
But I intend to get them all recorded, pre-recorded, and just chuck them out and just say. So I'm going to take 3 weeks off when I finish college in 2 weeks.
You're going to have some time off. I'm going to finish all the games I didn't finish, and just did impressions videos of. And I was like, I want to keep playing this, but the next game's out. So I gotta stop. Shit.
Can't complete this, but here's my impressions. That's why I don't call them reviews.
That's why I don't call them reviews anymore, because doing reviews was literally killing me. Wait.
That's true, yeah. How long is this game? Only 100 hours.
It's only 100 hours, and if you want anyone to watch the video, you need to finish it in 3 days. 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 3 da
Is that even possible?
Okay. Sure.
Damn, 72 hours.
Yeah. Cram 100 hours in 72 hours. It can be done. I just need to fly around the planet really quickly in the opposite direction. Once or twice. Oh, I'm nearly finished my game. I'm losing it, man. I need this holiday. I've nearly finished my game of the year list, and I've only got 2 more videos to record. It's so close. For those that don't know, on the Words About Gamescast, we discuss what's been going on in gaming, games culture, and the industry over the past 7 days before we leave you with a list of what's coming out this week. Nice. I'm loving the energy today. You got the thing, and you've got the thing, and I love it.
I'll be dead by then. I'll be like,
probably. Yeah. This week, we speculate and predict what's coming at this week's Game Awards and State of Play, talk about Riot Games' settlement in its gender discrimination lawsuit and their expansion of its League of Legends universe, Campo Santo putting their next game on hold to work on Valve projects, and Patrice Desolé sour grapes over review scores for his latest release. As always, there are timestamps in the description below the video over on the YouTubes. So if you want to watch this podcast in a random order, or you just here to watch one specific thing, you just click the numbers next to the thing and it'll take you right there. Watch the whole podcast backwards if you want. It's totally
I'm still
cool.
waiting to hear from someone to say they did that.
I don't think anyone does it. Keith used to say it, so I've kind of like because he departed us, he's gone to the beyond. I just decided I need to keep a small piece of him around, and apparently that was the piece. I could have taken a lock. Well, I probably couldn't have taken a lock of his hair. But lock of his beard hair, maybe. And it's fine. He doesn't watch this, so we're all good.
The one episode he does watch.
It will be.
What are you saying?
It will be. Well, real talk, though, when I was writing out that paragraph of this is what we're talking about, because Crisis on Infinite Earth starts on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, I wrote League of Legends as Legends of Tomorrow, and I didn't catch it for ages. Because I'm just like, Crisis!
I haven't watched a single episode of any of those shows for a long time, but I always watch the team-ups, and I intend to watch the Crisis one. Just because I want to see, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Tom Welling as Superman again. I just want to see him.
Smallville Superman.
I just want to see him, and I want to see his Lois Lane, because damn, did I have a crush on her when I saw her in Smallville. I was just like, yes.
Which one was Lois Lane? Because it wasn't what I'm thinking of.
She was better than Lana. That's all we'll say.
Was Lana Kristen Kruk? I don't know.
She was Lucy, not Lucy Liu, but I think it was like something Liu.
Okay.
Lucy Liu? One of the two.
Lucy Liu is in Kill Bill.
But they're not two people, so. Yeah, completely different person. She's of Asian descent, if that'll help.
I don't watch Smallville.
Oh. Just the song alone. Somebody
They used it in last year's crossover when they went to Smallville. And it was like... But I get the reference. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, they're going to bring him in. They're going to bring him. And then they took a picture of them with wine. I'm just like, they're getting drunk. That means they're going to talk about this. Can you want to come back?
This is clearly a business meeting. There's wine.
Clearly, yeah.
Fuck this video game stuff. Let's do a podcast about...
Not a business meeting.
Let's do a podcast about the Arrowverse. Moody. Game Awards is coming. And we've just found out there's a state of play that's coming. That's just going to be 20 minutes long. And so we're going to do speculation on the reveals. Because me and Patrick did the nominations. We talked about the nominations last week. I think it was #Justice for Fire Emblem. But we never talked about the reveals. And then I thought, you know what? I got my good friend, very smart game dev friend, Mr. Moody, coming on the podcast. That's you. It's you. I'm talking about you. There's no one else here. I hope there's no one else here. Hello? Hello. Hello.
Well, we did think you were getting robbed before he
I
started.
mean, I could be getting wrong. I could be talking. And here is
Random Wobber number 1.
Dave.
So, what game do you think is going to be shown?
Talk to me about the Game Awards, Dave. No, so I want to know. I want to know what's coming. Like, apparently, according to Jeff Keighley, nothing that's been revealed at the Game Awards has been leaked, right? But there has been one leak in the past week. You know what I'm talking about, right?
When I sent it to a friend of ours, and he literally said, "Is that better not be fake to me?" Yes,
legit wearing the outfit. You can't see it, but it's a Resident Evil 2 top. And the umbrella logo.
We've already had that out. It's Resident Evil 3 to talk about.
I don't have any Resident Evil 3 gear. This counts, right? It's umbrella. It's just
I guess.
I mean, it does say Resident Evil 2 on the back.
Yeah. I think Nemesis is going to be revealed at State of Play. It ain't going to be a Game Awards.
Yes.
Just because of their great relationship with Sony, and they've revealed basically every big game they have, apart from Devil May Cry, what was shown last year at E3. They showed Monster Hunter World, which was obviously a huge success. Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2 Remake. It just screams out. Yeah. We're going to show you Resident Evil Nemesis.
It's like Resident Evil 3. It's a thing. PlayStation Store leak. State of Play. And then Jeff Keighley kind of let the cat out of the bag when he was like, "Oh, nothing's leaked." Like, so then it was like, well, PlayStation, do you have anything to add to this? And PlayStation's just kind of standing there going, no.
I'll say this: I don't think PlayStation are going to show anything for next gen. So if anyone is literally saying, "Oh, what are they going to show us? Are they going to show us next gen?" It's like, no. There's already rumors coming out that there's going to be a February reveal event for that. So
like last time,
that's when they're going to do it. They're going to start talking about next gen next year. This is to basically tide over what's coming for the first half of next year for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's like you've still got a PlayStation 4 until next November, let's say. Like, you know, you've still got to release stuff for it, right? You know, people are getting bored and not spending any money until November.
Well, the numbers are already starting to slow down for them very fast. Just because obviously they've started talking about PlayStation 5. I don't think they're going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Ooh,
I just have this feeling. I think that's a launch title for 5. I think it's going to be cross-platform. They'll say, just like Breath of Wild was, but they'll be pushing it for PlayStation 5 more than anything. They'll be saying, "No, you can play it on PlayStation 4 if you want to, but you'll want to play it on 5. And everything.
Solid.
Look at this shiny thing. 5 is better than 4.
Solid Jim Ryan impersonation there. 10 out of 10.
That's what I think. They might show a trailer for Last of Us 2, just because we know that is a PlayStation 4 title, even though they will remaster it, dubbed it as a remaster, and re-release it for PlayStation 5 probably, even though PlayStation 5 is going to be a backwards compatible console.
They'll remaster it, though. They will. Because then they can sell it again for full price. Yeah. That's how they got me to buy it on PS4.
Yeah. That's how they got me to buy it on PlayStation 4 again.
I didn't buy it again.
Because I wanted to play as the lead character and shoot people in the head at all.
Oh, no, of course not.
No, at all. And then pick up a bar and smack him in the head.
Bow and arrow, rabbit, you know.
Mm-hmm. I shot one in the balls by accident.
I finished.
I went, "Oh, I didn't mean to hit there." I said I was aiming for a head. I didn't mean to hit that head.
I finished the Outer Worlds earlier today. Because they finally patched it. Well, there's an achievement for shooting people in the groin.
Oh, that's just mean.
In slow-mo, whatever the slow-mo version is called, and I'm like one away from doing it. So I got some issues to work out. But a lot to unpack there, Moody. I want to talk a bit more about Resident Evil because I mean, hell yeah, right? Like, I'm almost the biggest Resident Evil fan, you know? Almost.
Yeah. Vonnier was another person we did not know.
I know, I can't compete
Who claims to be the biggest.
YouTube.com/MCFixer. I can't compete. I can't compete with Fix. Fixer likes games that are objectively bad in the Resident Evil series. I can't compete with that. But So like, when are they going to release it, right? Because I thought Resident Evil 3, before last week, I thought it was this far off thing that might be coming in like 2021, right? But when Resident Evil 7 was revealed, it was done at E3 in June, and then it was released in January. When Resident Evil 2 was revealed, it was the same thing. It was done in June, came out in January. It's December. So straight away, I'm confused.
Yeah, I can appreciate that, yeah.
Like, so it's going to be revealed in December. It's obviously, because of the way it was leaked, it was box art on the PlayStation Store, right? So it's come PS4. Which means it's going to come out before the PS5 comes out. Because they're not going to release a new console and they'll be like, oh, and Resident Evil 3 is out on...
They're going to show the new graphics they'll show off for the new Resident Evil will be probably Resident Evil 8.
Yes. Next E3, they'll be like, here's Resident Evil. Boom, bitches.
Dino Crisis, please.
I'll tell you what, though, if they do if they're like, here is this mysterious, secretive virtual reality demo called, well, the last one was Kitchen, so let's go Dining Room. I'll be like, I'm on you this time, Capcom. You ain't fooled me twice.
Fool me once, fool me twice, you will not.
Yeah. I won't be losing my shit like I did back in the day, because I'd played Kitchen. Super secret. Scary as fuck. But, yeah, so, like, when are they going to release it? Is it going to come out in January? Like, are they just going to be like, Resident Evil 3? And then it drops a year after Resident Evil 2. Is that even possible? Is that even physically possible? Let me ask you, as a game developer. Is that even physically possible?
Well, if they're ready, they're ready.
I
guess. Yes, I'll say that. When they revealed Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 2 Remake, they obviously did a big thing at E3, but then they went silent. And then when they started showing things off, they didn't start showing things off until like a month before the release date. If this game is ready, then I think it's see it out in January, but I think it's probably going to be somewhere poised in the first quarter. I'll buy April.
See, here's the thing, because I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm not. It's not like I'm a Resident Evil fangirl or anything, and I've been waiting for this moment so I can talk about it. So if they're not going to release it it's going to be so good. It'd be like the Mr. X bit in Resident Evil 2, but the entire game. Why do I want that? That sounds terrifying.
Heart attack on that.
You'd be like, ah! And you know, I'm going to stream the whole thing.
Heart attack throughout.
I'll stream the whole thing with a heartbeat monitor on, and at some point, an ambulance is going to get automatically called to my house. But so they're not going to release it next gen, which means it's not coming out next holiday / fall, right? Like they're not going to release it right before the new consoles come out, because I imagine like game sales would lower, because instead of buying a new game for your PS4, people will be trying to save up to buy a PS5. I can't see Capcom wanting to just taking a look at like February to April, May, whatever it is, like next year, and looking and going, oh, there's Final Fantasy, there's Cyberpunk, there's The Last of Us. Yeah, we'll just drop this right in the middle of it. So, like, I just keep circling back to January or I guess summer. Like,
the only game really that really starts off 2019 is the Dragon Ball game.
Kakarot,
but that's only for a certain that's only for a certain target audience. This one's going to be for a more bigger target audience.
Yeah.
And I can see them coming out. Resident Evil 7 came out with a Dragon Ball game.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like the same year, same month. I can literally see them coming out for that. January is the perfect month. It's shown it has been for the Resident Evil games.
Capcom in general have ruled January for the last 3 years with like Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2, Monster Hunter World. Like, in my head, I'm like, they've got to be bringing it out in January, but
it screams out, and that would just be perfect. Then just to say, and it's out in 1 month.
Yeah,
that'll just be the ultimate. We've all been saying that they need developers and publishers. They need to stop showing a game, and that's a year, like 18 months to 2 years out.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting sick of it. So I think, like, I'm having a look right now. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is January 17th, 2020. There's nothing really big coming out. Do you what? Monster Hunter World does have DLC coming out that month, so they might not want to cross over with it. But it's DLC for
It's
a game that's,
DLC.
I believe, it's saying it's just for PC because I think it's already out on console. So
Is it called Iceborne?
yeah,
It came out in the summer.
so it's coming on PC then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's just coming out on PC.
so there's no major release in January,
No.
and there's I'm looking at February now. February, Ori, Yakuza, Best Friends Forever, Dark Side, Genesis, Marvel's Iron Man, One Punch Man. They could drop it in February if they wanted to, at least maybe 2 weeks before Final Fantasy VII. That'll be a perfect one.
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
January or February would be perfect. I would stay away from March. I would definitely stay away from April and stay away from May.
100%. You got to stay away from those 3 months because it's going to be a meat grinder.
But especially with just two of those games are going to be a huge games in Final Fantasy VII and Cyberpunk. Last of Us is going to be just probably an emotional gut punch where everyone's going to want to take a week off.
Yeah.
Probably at the end of it. So
There
is a lot of room for them to get it out in January and February. If they don't, June?
Yeah, then
June
you're looking at
E3?
sort of June, July time. Sort of.
But you don't want to come out after E3.
You don't really want to come out in summer.
Basically, yeah. After E3, after E3 happens next year, everyone's going to be we're going to be literally full on. How long are we have? When is it? When's November? And everything like that. Because that's what we're all thinking. November is probably going to be when the new consoles come out. So everyone's going to be looking at that after E3.
Because we're having the last hurrah for the current consoles. Yeah. With like Last of Us, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy, Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't really count because Switch isn't having its last hurrah.
Switch is fine.
Switch just does whatever it wants, right? But we're going to have that sort of last hurrah thing. And then in amongst that somewhere, Microsoft and Sony are both going to have big blowout events where it's like, this is the PS5, this is the Xbox Scarlet. And then they'll go to E3 and they'll be like, these are all the next-gen games. Like, look at Halo, look at, I don't know, whatever the fuck PlayStation's going to have. 2. Look at NAC 3. And then, like, yeah, there's that period in between where it's like, I don't know if you release, I don't know, unless you're a big franchise like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, I don't know that you'd necessarily go, I'm going to release my game right here. Again, unless you're on Nintendo. It's like, yeah, I don't want to drop a game in the middle of that. Because all everyone's going to be doing is hyping PS5, Xbox.
Yeah. So for me, I would say January, February.
Yeah. Okay.
Or they are pushing, or they just showing it early and they're saying early 2021, and it is actually PlayStation 5, Xbox One, whatever the hell the Xbox is, Xbox 2. You know, but I think it'll be bonkers. I would think it'll be bonkers for me.
Yeah. Comes out the same day as like Cyberpunk or something. It's like, why? But anyway,
why are you doing
Why do you hate me? Why are you hurting me like this?
Cyberpunk would have said the map is small, and then Witcher 3, it doesn't mean it's not going to be a bigger game.
Witcher 3's map was bigger than Skyrim.
True.
So we've spent 50. You've indulged me. We spent 50 minutes talking about Resident Evil, but there's like a whole other like 3.5 hours of show time to fill. Like it's not all gonna be Resident Evil. Just that would.
I do think Capcom have there is rumors that Capcom have another thing to show, other than Resident Evil. I've been saying this for years, and I'll keep on saying it until the end of time. Until they do it. Give me Dino Crisis Remake. Give me that now. Give me it. Do it, Capcom. Just do it. Just give me what I want.
Listen, Capcom, you should just listen to this guy because he's not going to stop talking about it until you do it. Like, you've got the RE engine.
Every E3 prediction, it's going to be Capcom.
Even I predicted it. This E3 just gone. Like, you've got the RE engine. You've got it. You need to make games. Mm-hmm. Apparently, you can make games faster than anybody else. So, just do it.
Yeah. They got like a team of 1,000.
Just do it, yeah. They must do it, but just do it. Just do it. Shia LaBeouf.
But I could see that one at the Game Awards.
Like a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Bam, you give everyone time to digest the Resident Evil 3 remake. And then, bam, here comes Dino Crisis, just when you're coming down off of that. I could see that.
After all the controversy, after Death Stranding wins all the awards and everything like that, so pisses everyone off.
Already talked about that. Not going to talk about. No, I'm not going to have that rant again. I think.
I get for one. Sorry.
I think I disagree with you saying that there's going to be no Ghost of. Is it Ghost or Ghosts of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima, I believe.
It's plural or singular? Spookies of Tsushima. I think it's going to have a trailer. Man with Samurai Sword in Field of Cherry Blossoms is going to be. I think it's going to have a trailer because it's the only. Like, I think you've had a state of play for The Last of Us, and obviously Death Stranding and Spider-Man both come out. So like, it's the last one of the big four, and like they specifically name checked in their announcement that we were going to get an update from Worldwide Studios, and I feel like that could be it because I feel like The Last of Us, you had the big thing with the release and date, whatever, and they'll probably show off some more at some point next year when they do another Nintendo Direct state of play, and I feel like you just remind people it exists, like even if it is coming as like a cross-platform release in November next year, it's like just be like, hey, we're still here, hello.
They have said constantly that Ghost of Tsushima is still a PlayStation 4 game. I don't believe them for that at all whatsoever. But if it is, where do you put it? You don't want to put it after E3. You don't want to even put it.
Here's what you do. You're at E3, right? You've done all this stuff. I don't know what they're going to show. Here's Resistance 4. Here's Knack 3. Here's Death Stranding 2. And then at the end of it, when you're like, oh, no, here's Ghost of Tsushima. Because they're going to E3. Like, let's just put that right out on the table. They're going to E3.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to do their own thing, actually.
During
E3.
Controversial. But anyway, they're doing their video presentation.
Their thing.
And then you get to the end and you got, oh, and this is Ghost of Tsushima. And then they do the thing and it's a guy with a samurai sword and he's like, whoosh, whoosh, like, it's all really awesome. It looks great. And then you have disembodied voiceover lady or Jim Bryan, depending on what kind of event it is, just go, and it's available right now. And then they're like, boom, Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. Right now.
No.
Bang. No, they're never going to do that, but it's a fun thought.
That would be fun.
Hey, we also said they were never going to make another Half-Life game. I did, anyway. I'm sure others joined in.
Suck to sell, so. How many of those VR sets out there?
7. One of them's here.
I have one of them. Screw you, people. I'm playing Half-Life 3. I mean, this Half-Life thingy, whatever it's called.
I like VR. I'm a big fan of VR.
So over gushing of Resident Evil and gushing hopefully for Dino Crisis and gushing over Ghost of Tsushima, whatever the hell they call it. What else are we thinking? I saw you've got Batman.
Batman, right? Like WB Montreal, or I don't know what Rocksteady's doing. Apart from, all Rocksteady seems to exist to do is keep saying, no, we're not going to reveal our game at this major event. No, we're not going to reveal our game at this major event. But WB Montreal probably either working on Batman or Harry Potter. And the rumors go both ways. Like, I feel like both games are in development. I feel like WB Montreal are only working on one of them. But I don't know, like the Game Awards seems like the place to reveal one of those two games.
I do not want another Batman game whatsoever right now. You've got, like I said a while ago, you've got a vast library of characters of the DC universe from Warner Brothers, and you only touch one all the time. Come on, seriously.
Yeah, that's how it
I know
works.
a lot of people say, I don't want a Superman game. I don't care. You can make a good Superman game.
You can.
You can. You got a good story, you got good mechanics, you'll be fine with that. You can do a Wonder Woman game, a Green Lantern game, bloody hell, a Cyborg game. Jesus, man, come on. A Supergirl game. A Supergirl right now is one of the biggest things out there. You can put her on a thing. You could do a whole thing, and for some reason, you just want to keep playing as a guy who has no powers and scares people, has an affinity for bats.
Boogie, boogie, boogie. Ah. I mean,
I love Batman. He's the one. Oh, I say all the time on my podcast, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. They are the holy trinity of comic book characters.
literally.
They are. They are the biggest ones out there from a comic book standpoint. Yes, Marvel and what the MCU have done with their characters. They have now Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. They got rid of 2 of them on Endgame. Well done. But yeah, it's you've got so many characters and you only stick into one. And I don't like that. Yes, I know a lot of people say it's because he has the best villains and all like that. I was thinking
it's true.
that's
But
a
we've
pathetic
seen
excuse. That's a lazy excuse for me.
I've seen most of them. Most of them were in the first Arkham game, but yeah, I don't know. Like maybe Rocksteady is working on something like Justice League related, which would be nice. Because yeah, you're right. It's like it's just been Batman. And Arkham Knight, they had like references all across the game to like every single other like major DC superhero. Like there was references to the Flash and the Green Arrow and Wonder Woman and Superman, and it's just like it's been 4 years since that game came out. Those references have amounted to zip.
Big fat zip.
Big fat fuck you. That's what they referenced to. But like, yeah, I can see Montreal working on a Batman game and Rocksteady maybe working on something else with a different character. Or
I can see Rocksteady right now probably is doing that Harry Potter game that apparently leaked last year.
Yeah.
All showed off and everything.
But then
I think
someone's got to be doing that,
we could
right?
see that.
Yeah.
They're got to be doing something. There's no doubt about it. And we do know, like Phil Spencer's came out after the London event that they still got things they want to show off this year. So you can guess they're probably going to be at the Game
State
Awards and showing off stuff. I'm guessing they might show off a trailer for Ori, the new Ori.
I read something about that where they were like, there is going to be an Ori thing at the Game Awards, which is just going to be a trailer. Cool. We know when it's coming out, like so unless they move the date. Like I can see one of their I can see one of their ideaed Xbox games coming out either right after the show or like within like weeks, or they could be announcing something for January. Because remember this time last year they were hyping up their Winter of Arcade.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard a peep about Winter of Arcade like this year. So whether they're going to do the same thing or not, if they've got a bunch of indie games to sell, they should do it. And Winter of Arcade was pretty cool last year. Ashen came out, Below came out. I really love both of those games.
I can see him doing a big push on Game Pass and everything. Like Phil Spencer's come out. Like he says, he's apparently slipped in that Control is joining it, but the Remedy have come out and saying Control is not joining Game Pass or something like that. And
that's a bit quick, I think, for a game going out.
It hasn't sold.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer even said himself it hasn't sold very well. Yeah, so they need to get it on. I think they need to get it on Game Pass. Yeah. Get that quick cash. And that simple cash.
They'll get the sales boost as well because for some reason, if a game goes into Game Pass, it sells better.
It's a more player. The player usage goes up a bit. So
go figure.
That's what you want.
Maybe, yeah. Like I can see them being there and being present and doing something and being like, here's a game, or like here's an indie game. Like there'll be nothing like they're not gonna go, here's a Halo trailer, or like here's a Halo beta like coming in such and such, like whatever, February, whatever. But like it's something smaller scale. Like Microsoft kind of known for doing that kind of thing. So yeah, I can see that. Like there's a bunch of indie games that have dropped off the face of the earth that were being like heavily promoted by Microsoft. Games like Tunic and Sable. And then I remember last year we were in a similar boat where it was like Ashen and Below were both like, well, no one's talked about these games for ages and they're supposed to be coming out. And then they went to the Game Awards. Here's the Winter of Arcade. These 2 games are coming out.
Here we are.
Imminently. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's where those games went. So that's where I'm kind of at.
I could see that. Will Ubisoft show anything?
No, not a chance. They do their own thing at their own event. They just delayed every single game they're making.
And the rumor is that apparently the Assassin's Creed game is going to be shown at the PlayStation reveal event.
The reveal event, yeah.
If that actually happens, if they're like, so it's all rumors right now and everything, but if that actually happens, yeah.
Because that's the thing as well. Like when we're thinking about stuff as big as Assassin's Creed, it's like there are 2 console reveal events coming up, which will need big games. Like I remember when PS4 Pro did their thing, like when they did the thing for PS4 Pro, and it was like Mass Effect Andromeda, which at the time no one hated. So like it was a big deal just because they were like, here's Mass Effect Andromeda, and everyone was like, oh shit. And then it came out and everyone was like, oh shit.
Oh shit. What did you do?
Why? It's like Jesse and Breaking Bad. He can't keep getting away with this.
I got the
I like Mass Effect.
Sleep with an Asari again. It was all good.
I was fine with Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mm-hmm.
I found the technical issues to be oddly endearing. They were kind of funny.
No one's ever said that.
They were kind of funny. Like none of them ever broke the game.
Looking at your face. No. I saw your father.
My face is tired. I mean, don't get me wrong. I bagged on the game in my review, but like they were kind of funny, right? Like the game never broke, so it was all good. But
it's not as bad as Unity or WD2K20 right now and everything like that. It's not as bad as that.
WWE is funny for an entirely different reason. Twitter. That's funny. I'm not playing. So Nintendo, right? Like they're gonna do something at the Game Awards because they always do something at the Game Awards. Not Reggie this year though. It's sad. But maybe Doug Bowser.
Do we see a joining union again, but with the new bosses of PlayStation and Nintendo, along with Phil Spencer?
I don't think so. No, I feel like it was a nice moment in time, like last year, and like Phil and Sean and Reggie were all like beloved in the industry. That's not to say Jim Ryan and Doug Bowser won't be like, aren't nice people or nice guys or whatever, but like we don't really know them that well, and they're a lot less recognizable. And I feel like you don't need to keep repeating that moment every year. I'd be happy enough to see it happen, but
be fascinating.
It'd be cool if they did do it again. It would be interesting. But yeah, right now all Doug Bowser's done is done one Bowser joke in the Nintendo Direct.
They had to get it out the way.
You had to do it.
Get it out of the way now.
If I don't, like everyone else is already making the Bowser jokes, so you just got to jump in. But like we're gonna see. I mean, I am 99.9% certain we're gonna see the next Smash Brothers DLC character.
Possibly even a trailer for Animal Crossing, or do you think they hold that for their own?
I think they'll hold that back because they'll be doing a direct in January, like they always do, or January, February time, which is because they always have that big direct at the beginning of the year where they're like, it's like the one that was at the beginning of this year where we saw Fire Emblem and we saw Super Mario Maker 2 and like we saw a bunch of big stuff get revealed. And I think they'll hold that back for that Nintendo Direct. But what I'm hoping we get to see, what I'm hoping still exists, is Bayonetta 3.
Yeah, they haven't talked about that for a while.
They've talked about that for ages.
Getting done in it.
Well, it was Game Awards 2 years ago. Reggie came out and he was like, Bayonetta 1 and 2 are coming to Switch. And everyone was like, oh, cool. And then he went, we've got another surprise. And it was Bayonetta 3. And everyone was like, oh, shit.
Even though we're not showing you anything at all because we haven't even started a concept art on that.
But then it was like nothing. For 2 years, there's been the only thing we've heard is they're still working on it. Please, just give me a sign of life. Just a sign of life.
I think it's still coming, but I wouldn't show it unless it's close to being done. And if it's only been 2 years, it's nowhere near being done. It's probably still got another year minimum to be done. So I would say no and hold it to the either E3 next year or the Game Awards 2020.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
I hate. It's fine. We're not friends anymore, but that's fine.
Right, that's okay. Last episode of Mr. Moody.
Mr. Moody is fired.
Can you fire someone you don't pay?
Let's find out. No, but like I feel like that's all you get. You might get a game like if it's not Bayonetta, you might get a game from Nintendo, like something like mid to like smaller scale.
I am going to be fascinated to see what they do have to show at the Game Awards because, like I said, I don't think anyone's going to show anything for next gen
No, not at
at
all.
all.
Because
Well, what do they have still to come? I know there's a lot of games like they probably showed a new trailer for the Dragon Ball game,
well,
new trailer for maybe Cyberpunk, and a new trailer for maybe Final Fantasy VII. But geez, we all know these are coming.
there's
like
10 world premieres, like coming at the Game Awards, which is new stuff that's never been revealed before, and none of it's leaked. So we're waiting. Like it's less than a week to the Game Awards. Like this has been a year of leaks. This is the year where we knew every beat of E3 before we went into it. But like you get to Game Awards and it's like we've got normally when we do this speculation we've got like a foundation to build on of well this has been leaked and this is happening and this is happening. The only thing we know for sure is one of the 10 world premieres is going to be some kind of single player League of Legends thing, and I mean cool. I'm really I do. I really like the world of League of Legends, but I don't like MOBAs. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. What that could be, because they're doing multiple games with multiple different indie devs, and the card game was quite fun. I played at EGX last year, in October, but yeah, like the thing you gotta remember at the Game Awards is like
that biome one, that bio rodent one. What's it called?
Biomutant.
Biomutant. We haven't seen a single thing from that at all, and it's meant to be coming next year.
Yeah,
early next year.
That's true.
So we could finally actually probably see a full trailer with proper gameplay with it.
True. And then you look at things like Disintegration, which was the shooter/strategy game that was revealed at Gamescom, which Jeff Keighley also runs. The show, not the live show, not the whole thing. Jeff Keighley doesn't run Gamescom, but
he runs it all.
He runs everything. Probably. You know what? If someone offered me proof that he did, I would just be like, yeah, all right, that makes sense, I guess. But
yeah, when Death Stranding wins all the awards, we know he rules it all.
So
get it,
just poke. Hair goes blonde and everything. But like a lot of the world premieres, like, and I've got another one I've just thought of that I want to run by you. But a lot of the world premieres are kind of indie games, like that happen at the Game Awards every year. Like, they do world premieres for like smaller games, like and like mid tier. Like, I hate the term AA games, but like AA games. Like the mid-tier sort of indie games, like they do a lot of stuff for that. So like when you're talking 10 world premieres, you might only be talking about 2 or 3 AAA games, and then the rest might be like smaller scale or different kinds of games, which is fine. I love those kinds of games. But I feel like this is why I don't get disappointed by the Game Awards every year. Because I go in with these like low-key expectations, and the only thing I get mad about are the award winners.
Death Stranding winning
all the awards. Set myself up for that one. So, over the past week, it was Nier's 10th anniversary, right?
Yes.
And they did the website and they set the whole thing up. There was a big thing where it was like, Nier, what about a new Nier game? What if they were like, here's a new Nier game, bitches? Get Yoko Taro up on stage with his big...
Isn't there already one getting made?
I hope so.
Do we already know? Nier wasn't Nier revealed at E3 and everything? No. Give us one moment, please.
I wish. I can absolutely give you one moment. I'll just talk. No, there wasn't one revealed at E3. There was, in fact, I don't remember what was revealed. I don't remember the Square Enix's press conference was Final Fantasy, Avengers, and then there was a bunch of anime in the middle. I don't remember anything that was in the middle. I don't remember any of the middle stuff. But I think Final Fantasy 9 was there. But
yeah.
Yes. Super secret best one. But
wasn't Final Fantasy 8?
Oh, it was 8. Yeah. Because the memes.
Yeah, they went,
you're the best looking guy.
We finally have it for you.
Because of the memes. You're the best looking guy here.
He now
he actually is the best looking guy here. Yeah.
And people are sad by that.
People just can't let memes go. But
that's true.
Yeah, I want it so bad. Nier Automata was amazing. I want another one.
Yeah. I can see that getting announced and probably be out sometime between now and E3.
Yeah, like between now and the cut-off point for the next gen, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be hard to run a gaming YouTube channel which primarily focuses on game impressions next year. Because it's going to be nothing. New consoles!
Why did I do this to myself?
30 new games! Oh no! I do 3 a week. Fuck.
Keith, we need you back.
Help! And in place of this week's impressions videos, a 4-hour podcast where we all took different games from the Xbox launch day.
Assassin's Creed, Ragnarok. You play as someone who you can, as this random person. He's an assassin. He's a Viking. It looks beautiful. I like the part where I found Mew and turned into Thor. That's it. 10 out of 10.
Mew. Love it.
Mew.
10 out of 10.
Mew.
Meow.
That's all I want. I won't lie.
Yeah,
it could be the worst game in the world. If you give me Mew, I'm good.
Cool. So Avengers, most anticipated game of 2020.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. I forgot that was coming out.
Lol. It's actually really good. The gameplay. I don't know anything about the game, but I played 30 minutes of it. It was pretty fun.
Interesting.
And you get throw Mjolnir. Mew. Sorry. Like in God of War.
Does it feel as good as throwing an axe?
No. Nothing's ever... Moody, I won't break this something to you right now. Nothing's ever going to feel that good again.
So that means he needs Stormbreaker instead of Mew.
Yeah, maybe he'll get it.
Stormbreaker's an axe.
Speaking of Avengers, do you think we'll get some Avengers at the Game Awards and/or State of Play?
Probably. And they'll be saying, look, people, you can stop complaining. They now look like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. We will not break even on this game now, but be happy. You miserable pricks online.
Did you see our voice cast? But
they're still voiced by Troy Baker and Nolan North.
Like the best fucking voice cast I've ever seen. Like the Avengers of friggin' voice actors over here, and everyone was like, "Oh, they look like shit." Fuck you.
That doesn't look like Chris Evans. I want America's ass, not this ass.
Not this ass. Not this ass. That looks like that face. That looks like an ass. That's not even America's ass.
What? You killed America's ass? What? I just seen him die once. I don't need to see him die again. He actually didn't die at the end of that game, but whatever.
I mean, no, he didn't. But
he was very old.
I mean, he's coming back because he's a friggin' playable character in the game. They're not just gonna have him in the prologue. I would have thought. But...
Shh. Spoilers.
No, because he was the funnest one.
That's why they got rid of him.
He was fun. You threw a shield, and it bounced off a bunch of people, and then you used the magnets, and it clips back on. That was fun. But yeah, I think we'll see. I think we'll see a trailer for it.
Yeah, probably. I'll be very surprised if we don't.
I think they need to do a better job of explaining what the game is. So we know the story because they released the story trailer. Kamala Khan looks fantastic, and it looks like a lot of fun, as well as being like this story about like trauma and survivor's guilt. But and we know the gameplay because obviously like we've seen it, like we've seen the prologue. People have played the prologue and explained it, and the only thing that's unclear-ish is the rest of the game, like the missions that you take on, like outside of the story missions and the multiplayer and how that works. And you can create your own Avenger character, but like why? For what purpose? For what mode? Like how's it going to work? Like that's the kind of thing I think we need to focus on explaining. Because otherwise you're going to end up in a situation where people are going to build up their own ideas about what the game is, and then most of those ideas will not be in the game, and most of the expectations won't be met, and that's when you're in No Man's Sky territory.
I think they're already hitting that right now, though, because even though everything what you just said, I think a lot of people are still very, very confused. Not only what this game is, but what is the story, what's with the visuals, and all like that. And just people are just very down on this right now, which is disappointing because you should give it a chance when you play it
Yeah,
until until you see the trailers and everything. But the marketing needs to be sorted. I think the marketing hasn't been that great.
like we learned in 2013 or we learned in 2005, like when you have a bad reveal, like it can just be the anchor around your neck for the entire rest of time. like, like it's very hard to shake off a bad reveal. First impressions are important. Go figure. But they need to, like, I don't know whether the Game Awards is the correct stage or State of Play is the correct stage to explain this stuff. But I think they needed to actually go out and explain it. Like gear, there's a gear system. They showed me a video at the end of my demo at EGX where there was a screen that looked suspiciously like Destiny's gear equipment screen. It's like, what the fuck? Like, so again, I can customize like how the characters look, but you're talking about like different armor pieces or different costume pieces, and those costume pieces have values, and what do those values mean? Like, am I gonna need to grind for levels? Am I gonna need to grind for equipment? Like, it's when you start getting into the weeds of it, it starts becoming something you need to just sit down with a video, like a shortish video, and just go, this is what the deal is with Avengers. Like, you've seen the story trailer, you've seen the gameplay trailer. This is what the game is.
Yeah, we need to do something. There's no doubt about that. I'm gonna be fascinated to see what happens with it. This is the thing. If Final Fantasy comes out and it blows everyone away, then Cyberpunk comes out, blows everyone away, and then Last of Us comes out and literally blows everyone away, I think Avengers is gonna be like, Avengers who?
Avengers who? Yeah.
Who would have said we would have been saying that a year after Endgame?
No, 100%. Like, after E3, like E3 was such a big thing to try and process in my head about Avengers and what went down at E3, because it was just like, wow, that was great. Like, and it stands in contrast to 30 minutes earlier when they had us eating out of their hands with the Final Fantasy VII stuff. And it was like, damn, like that just didn't help it in the contrast of like, this is how this Final Fantasy team did it. This is how the Square team, the Avengers team did it. It's like, oof. Oof, as the kids would say. Yikes, as the kids would say.
Kids would say something, that's for sure. I don't know.
Down with the kids. Kids never shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sick of them always saying stuff.
Slap them.
Get off my video games. These games aren't for kids, even though I'm literally playing Luigi's Mansion right now, which is definitely a game for kids. Have we missed anything like really obvious? Like any bases that we haven't touched?
I'm not gonna lie, probably we have probably missed
something. Someone right now is watching this podcast and screaming a game at me. So if you hold on one sec, I'm gonna see if I can hear them.
Well, PlayStation State of Play is probably gonna show off more VR titles.
Yes, I've heard from sources, rumors, about like then they're gonna actually double down on VR when PS5 comes out. Like, as part of, like, the PS5 ecosystem. Like, VR is not going to be a thing like,
a second headset, and then it's going to be wireless, so.
Yeah, like, it's the thing that VR needs to start breaking into the mainstream. Like, a bit more. Like, it's like we were talking about VR. Me and Patrick were talking about VR. Because I feel like I've had this conversation already once. But it's like, then it's never going to be mainstream because it's a super expensive peripheral. And it always will be. It's never going to be like buying a controller for like 30 quid off Amazon because it's Black Friday. But do you like my new controller, by the way? But like, it needs to be wireless. It needs to be easy. Like, the thing about the Oculus Rift Quest, is it's wireless. You don't even need a computer. You don't need cameras. You put the thing on your face and you play Beat Saber. That's it. There's no super complicated. You're never and lose weight. You're never gonna lose the tracking on the camera, which happens all the fucking time. Like, so like, it's really smart of them. I hope they redesign everything. I hope they redesign the headset. I hope they redesign the controllers, because they need to. Because the Move controllers were never designed to work as VR controllers. They were designed as essentially light guns. They were Wii remotes.
Yeah.
Like they suck as VR controllers.
Yeah, they've been on since PlayStation 3, so they really need to get that sorted.
Yeah. So it's like I hope what I've heard about their plans for VR are true.
Well, what they've sold like over 1 million units,
4.2 million units.
so they've done a lot.
Yeah.
So they've sold. I think they've sold. I think it's sold far better than they were probably thinking it was going to be.
Yeah.
Don't know why my voice went very
No, that's
quickly
fine.
there, but it's like, oh, Batman.
But like VR's the best. Like some of the games I've played in VR like are some of my favorite games ever. Like Star Trek Bridge Crew. Like it's just it's a simple thing, right? But it's like I get some of my friends, we all sit down in VR and we're just sitting on the bridge of the Enterprise and playing Star Trek.
You're saying, Keith, lock phasers on target.
I'm the helms woman. I fly it. I'm
Hard to starboard, Amy. Hard to starboard.
I'm a terrible captain, as it turns out.
I'll just say fire at will. Which one's Will?
Which one's Will? Will's not here right now.
There's no Will on board.
We took it the last time we played it. I uploaded this footage to YouTube because it was amazing. And we played it, and it was me. I was flying. Tom was sat next to me, doing the tactical, and Russ was being the captain, and Keith wasn't next. He's in a VR headset because he's a loser. Again, he doesn't watch this show anymore, so I can say whatever I want about him.
Why he left people.
But I only talk ill of you if you leave, so never leave me. But like I remember we got into an argument about because I was playing a lady character and everyone else was playing the man characters, and I was complaining because everybody else got pants and I had a skirt, and I was like, why do I get a skirt? What's this bullshit? And we had a big argument. But we had a big argument about it. But you know when you're talking to somebody, and I'm going on a right tangent about VR here, but you know when you talk to somebody over like Xbox Live or whatever, you're just shouting into a headset, right?
Yes.
And literally like we're in VR and we've got such a great sense of presence. And like I'm sat here and Tom's sat there that we've literally like, we're turned like in our seats, like on the bridge of this Star Trek ship, having an argument, gesturing at each other. And it's like that's VR, man. Like you're just there, you're in it. It's like you used to play this game when you were a kid where it was like I'm playing Star Trek, and it's like now you are playing Star Trek, but you can see it. It's all around you.
You are on the ship.
I'm on the ship.
USS Enterprise.
That just blew up. This is flashing red. Oh my god, we're gonna die. This is just like when I used to play when I was a kid. VR, like I always like go back for VR because VR is fucking incredible. So yeah,
I've always wanted a headset. I just haven't got around to got one. They are expensive, sadly.
They are, unfortunately. Like they were doing the PSVR starter pack for like 180 quid over Black Friday, but it's like there's that. But if you want the best experience in VR, you want to buy the PlayStation Move controller so you can have hands. That's another 65 quid, and the price starts going up. And then you want some games, and
money.
I think you're better off waiting to see what they do. If they release a wireless PSVR headset, that instant buy. I would instantly buy that because
hopefully, cross fingers.
Like I'm already trying to buy a new TV and 2 new consoles next year, but I'll find the money. I'll find the money. I do. I don't have a 4K TV.
Don't need 4K,
but I want one. I got it. Like I got a new TV before Xbox One and PS4. It's just like a tradition. I upgrade my TV, like not at the same time. Like I'm talking like March time. I'll probably buy a new TV in preparation, and then I get to stream videos
4K.
of 4K. I'll watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine in 4K. Because let's be honest, like that's all I watch on repeat. So yeah, they'll probably show some VR stuff, but I think it's just a case of them taking over until the big thing, whether they do it at their console reveal or at E3 or later, in between E3 and the PS5 coming out. I think they'll be like, VR guys, it's still a thing.
I think VR is going to be revealed in 2021.
Okay.
I think next year is all PlayStation 5. They'll probably hint at VR and everything like that, and they'll say this: the OG VR is compatible, but maybe in 2021 we may be doing something else.
But let me make you an offer.
that you can't
that you can't refuse.
As into a horse.
I went.
Maybe missing some parts.
So I went on that entire tangent, and I couldn't think of any other games that are obvious that we might be missing.
Again, so, like someone's listening to us right now and they're screaming at us, but sorry, I can't think of any.
What are they screaming at us, though?
They're probably saying,
"What are you trying to say?"
We took too long, man. We took too long, Amy. I don't know why.
I don't know. Hold on.
We've just rambled on multiple times on multiple stuff.
That's what this podcast is, and I feel like anyone who's bought in at this point expects the 10-minute tangent about Resident Evil 2.
Hell yeah.
I mean, they better expect the Resident Evil 2 tangent, because, hell, you're always going to get one of those.
Dino Crisis Remake. I'm calling it now.
Dino Crisis Remake. That's weird. So I was like, I'm going to cheat and Google Game Awards predictions, and the first thing that came up, 2020 Golden Globes TV predictions. Thanks, Google. Okay.
Ooh, you suck.
Okay, I've already got... Okay, this I found this list. Push Square. Pushsquare.com by some dude called Liam Croft. Cheers, Liam. Elden Ring. Do you think we'll see Elden Ring with gameplay?
Never heard of the game, so I don't know.
It's the From Software George R. Martin game. You've got no idea.
Getting right out of my head.
God damn it. Was it the Xbox conference? You're supposed to be an Xbox guy.
An Xbox doesn't mean I'm an Xbox guy.
You follow Fixer. I just assume everybody follows Fixer's massively into Xbox. Because
I got an Xbox because he convinced me with how exciting he is with it and all like that.
Yeah, no, he's really convincing, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the next game from Software, George Railroad Martin. Tony Hawk. Apparently there's rumors that they're going to remake Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Could be.
Can't be any worse than the fifth one.
What's the fifth one?
Sorry, no,
I
the
thought you
fifth
meant
game.
fifth, not fifth on the list.
No, I'm not doing a clickbait thing. Number 5 will shock you. No. The next thing is about Batman. Ooh, the next game, Joseph Fares. You know the guy who's got a way out?
Oh, yeah.
He's making a game. And he has history with the Game Awards.
Fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars.
I can see them holding that to E3, though. Because EA wants something to show off.
It depends what they do. Because EA had a weird E3 this past year. Because they did the live stream, right? Where it was like, here's some stuff about Star Wars, and then half an hour about this, and half an hour about that, and then 30 seconds for Anthem, and then half an hour for Battlefield. And like, there was no room in that for a game like A Way Out, whatever Joseph Fares is doing next. So I don't know if they do the same thing again, they're going to pretty much need somewhere else to announce that game. And I loved The Way Out. That was great. I loved his appearance at the Game Awards where he told the Oscars to go fuck themselves.
And yet the Oscars gets more viewership than the Game Awards.
True, but seriously though, fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Game Awards.
Fuck the Oscars, Mooney.
Fuck the Game Awards.
How many movies get how many movies get revealed at the Oscars, Mooney? Yeah, suck it.
Oh, I admit they need to sort that out.
Imagine if the James Bond trailer had come out at the Oscars. That's all I'm saying.
I think the film would have been out by then.
Shut up.
No, it's not. It's February, the Oscars, so thingy's April, I think. Isn't it?
Shut up.
So I'm looking at the the article you're saying yourself. They're saying Dreams.
Yeah, I just got to that part.
Lockdown confirmed release date. That's gonna be the PlayStation.
I think this was written before the State of Play was announced.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. And with the State of Play live stream planned 2 days before this event, we're certain the game will have a solid date by the end of the week. Shop 2 tweeted out a 14th of February launch before promptly deleting it.
The last campfire sparks into life. No idea.
Have you scrolled down?
Yeah.
Oh.
Fall reveals itself. Never even heard that.
Okay. Last Campfire is Hello Games.
Someone's last campfire.
It's someone's last campfire. Super depressing, right? So Hello Games are starting to publish indie games, and they revealed one last year at the Game Awards called The Last
I can't
Campfire.
remember what happened 2 weeks ago. So
I know I'm refreshing your memory because I remembered when I read what it said in the article and was like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Show us what you want.
But yeah, like, that was a thing. Like, because they still update all the updates on No Man's Sky are still free. Like, that's crazy. That's awesome. But
yeah, I think they do that more just because of how bad the reception was, but now because the game is what they wanted it to be and everything. Yeah, they're doing a good job. Like they've come back from the brink of death, basically, and they went, "No, we will not die. We will fix our game, and you will love it, and you will."
Hey, they could have rode off into the sunset after bringing that game up
because
they got paid. Man,
Yeah.
so many people bought that game. Like, I bought that game. I've actually been sold it on my PS4 because I may or may not be adding it to my streaming rotation relaunching 2020.
2020.
Babylon's Fall is a Platinum Games game. Oh, if that was like a card name for Nier, that would be the best. And Witchfire, I don't care about Witchfire. It might be a good game, but it's been too long. I don't care. So we're not going to do all 5 because it's been like more than an hour.
Yeah, we went on a bit of tangent with that one.
This happened last time. We did the Game Awards nominations. I had a full thing of like podcast notes, and we ended up just doing the Game Award nominations because it was like, fuck it. Sometimes you're having so much fun talking about something, you just keep talking about it. Fuck it. Who wants to bring the mood down? So I'm gonna skip a couple of stories at least. We'll see how it goes. I want to do the I want to do the third one for sure. No, the second one. I feel like we touched on the third one before.
Yeah, we did say we have talked about Valve and League of Legends a bit, so yeah.
I want to do the second one because we've been covering this story since it broke like 600 years ago. That's game industry, yes. Everything feels so long. Everything was so long.
How long we
ago.
took to get to this new story?
It's been 50 years since I played Pokemon. It was last week, Amy. Oh, shit.
Before I came online.
It's before I was born. Yeah, it was like you're playing it now. I can see the reflection in your glasses. Yes.
No, I'm not. Get him, Pikachu. Get him.
Fucking escaped. No.
Damn you, Pikachu. Damn you.
Don't give me that Pika shit.
Get in your Pokeball. You don't go in your Pokeball. You go in your Pokeball.
Could you fucking get in there? Don't make me come after you. I'm gonna bite now.
Don't make me come in there.
If I can make you giant kaiju monster, I can shrink and come in there. So on the topic of the Game Awards and State of Play, let's move back here next week and talk about what actually happened. Deal. I've broke Mr. Moody.
I didn't hear what you said, sorry.
No, I said let's meet up next week and talk about what actually happened. The State of Play and the Game Awards.
Next week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the week to end
Friday.
all weeks. The week to end all weeks is State of Play. State of Play is happening.
Apparently, I think that's on a good time for us. Like it's 10 a.m. for Eastern, so
it's like
2 o'clock
that's like
us.
in the afternoon. It's a terrible time for me because I'm going to be busy all day. I'm going to miss it.
I'll just be at college and I'll just be like, yeah, guys, you keep making that game.
Yeah, you keep making it.
Come on, make something good.
You're just going to get everybody like, because I'm going to be trying to avoid spoilers all day, and you're just going to be like, okay, everybody, I need you to retweet this article at Jarabalot. That's weird. I have 50 notifications from Twitter.
Spider-Man 2 revealed. Horizon
But yeah,
2 revealed.
It's all happening this week coming. So, as well as The Expanse Season 4, a general election. It's going to be a busy week.
And the week after that, we got Star Wars.
And I'm doing my Game of the Year.
And I'm doing my Films of the Year. And Decade.
I'd love to join you for that, but I haven't watched 10 films.
You watched 10 films in the decade?
Maybe.
When you were questioning that, Amy, that's worrying. I sent you a list. You asked for a list. I sent you a list.
No, and you know what happened?
You lost the list?
I didn't watch it. And then, the list got too far down my notifications, and I was too embarrassed to ask for it again. Anyway.
Okay, note to self, new list for Emmy.
Yes, please. That would be awesome. And if you could, like, I don't know, email it to me or put it in a Google Doc or something so I don't lose it again. That'd be great too.
Oh, Emmy.
Thank you. And the next news story. Riot settles lawsuit will pay every female employee since 2014 with $10 million fund. This is from Cecilia de Anastasio over at Kotaku, who writes, Riot Games will pay out a huge $10 million proposed settlement collectively to every woman who has been employed by the company at any time over the last 5 years. The settlement is one of the largest in California history for a gender discrimination suit, says the plaintiff's lawyer. The payout, which was first reported by the Los Angeles Times, marks a sweet moment of justice for women at Riot, who have been systematically disadvantaged working at the giant gaming company, according to a 2018 Kotaku investigation. Jesus Christ, that was last year? Whew. Our report described rampant sexism at Riot manifesting in its hiring and promotion practices and broad office culture, which sometimes encouraged harassment and gender discrimination. The suit, filed November 2018, also describes how women at the League of Legends publisher were paid less than men in the same or a similar position. A copy of the proposed settlement obtained by Kotaku notes that each lawsuit participant will receive some amount of money determined by their tenure, length, and status as an employee. One reason for the large sum is to make up for what plaintiff's lawyer determined was a significant difference in salary between men and women at the company. Why it's not a country. Not yet, anyway. Ryan Saber, the plaintiff's lawyer, said in a statement that, quote, this shows that Riot is serious about changing the culture at the company, end quote. More quote, we are pleased that a proposed settlement to fully resolve the class action lawsuit against Riot was filed recently by plaintiff's counsel. The settlement is another important step forward and demonstrates our commitment to living up to our values and to making Riot an inclusive environment for the industry's best talent. Industry is capitalized. I don't know why I find that weird. Over the last year, Riot has undertaken several steps to mitigate its culture of sexism, including overhauling its recruitment, hiring, and promotion processes, offering clearer job descriptions, removing problem employees, bringing in third-party culture consultants and a diversity director, appointing women in leadership positions, and offering employees channels to offer feedback on their progress. In August, current employees told Kotaku that the company had made real progress fixing its issues. Unfortunately, several said that progress was undercut by Riot's continued employment of senior male employees named in the lawsuit who, sources say, have exhibited harmful workplace behaviour. Said one current employee, quote, it's great that Riot has decided to compensate women for the abuse they suffered here, but their rhetoric about healing and moving on leaves something to be desired. It's difficult to heal and move on when we are faced with the reality that at the end of the day, Riot prefers to pay the women still here for the trouble of continuing to work with alleged abusers, end quote. I feel like I talked to Keith about this a lot. And now we've reached like the end of chapter 1 and I'm Moody. How much have you been following along with this story?
I can see why Keith left now.
So have you been following along with this story, which apparently has been going on for more than a year?
I knew of it, but I didn't really haven't followed it to the extent that you have.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was kind of like, I don't want to say like a sequel to it. It was kind of like an offshoot of when everybody started, like all the different game developers started coming out talking about how toxic work environments and crunch and all of that stuff last year. And then this sort of happened as well, where Cecilia did a massive investigation piece on Riot Games and how shit it was to work there if you're a woman. And then it was kind of funny to watch Riot sort of tripping over itself, trying to fix, solve its PR problem. What do you, on the face of it, what do you think of, this as a thing, just this story?
Well done for coming out and, they're going to sort it all out when it comes to the money. They're going to refund a lot of people and everything like that. They still need to sort out the pay discrepancy. There's no doubt about that. That's in all jobs, though. That's in every single type of job out there. It's not just the game industry. It's sadly the game industry, or just like the movie industry. They're two of the biggest profitable things out there. So they're going to get the ones. They're going to be the main focus for a lot of people, which I can appreciate and understand. Yeah. They need to sort out if there are still abusers there, they need to be sorted out. I'm gonna go into like a movie party, but
Go
like
for it.
Bob Iger, the High Lord and Emperor at Disney, literally when he found out that John Lannister did some inappropriate things at Pixar, he got rid of him instantly. He got rid of him as soon as he did. And when he found out, when he heard this, he had the conversation with him. Lannister even confirmed. He said, "I didn't realize I was doing anything wrong." Blah blah blah. That's neither here or there.
Yeah.
But he literally said, "You have to leave, and you know you have to leave. You're done. Your job's done."
I agree.
So he's done. So if that guy at the arguably the biggest movie company out there right now can do that, anybody can do it in any industry. And I think this is what something that needs to do. If someone you are still making these women at this place very uncomfortable because you've kept some people who obviously who have abused them in some sort of ways. What we don't really know, obviously, what has happened and everything, but they are uncomfortable. It would be the same way for any other type of other person. If this is uncomfortable to them and it's wrong for them and they don't want this and you're not doing anything, you are making yourself look like the bad guy. And you're not meant, the company's not meant to be the bad guy. You're meant to be a workplace looking after your work employees. And if you can't do that, you need to sort your shit out. Fair play that you're going to pay. You've sorted out, they're going to sort out the payment part. That is fine. But you need to sort out the other part as well.
Yeah.
You can't leave it.
Sorry, I was looking something up from the original. Sorry. It's a long story. August last year, when it broke. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, I like the Bob Iger thing. I mean, I don't know anything. Like, I'm not going to say I like Bob Iger. I don't know anything about Bob Iger, except what you tell me. But, like, yeah, it's like, if you do something that is wrong, I like Pixar, man. John, I feel like you said
John
Lannister.
Yeah. He was one of the main three who started Pixar.
Like,
he was director of Toy Story 1 and 2.
Damn. Like, I thought you said Lannister, but then I was like, am I just remembering Lannister because of Game of Thrones? No, I'm not. It's good to know I'm not.
If you've seen the documentary of Pixar, he's the guy who wears the very big, bombastic, flowery shirts with glasses. He's a biggish guy like me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Oh, thank you.
Scott Gelb is the name of the guy that I think is being referred to in this news story by the employee. I wouldn't want to put words in anyone's mouth. It could be somebody else. But Scott Gelb was a big part of the original news story in terms of just being a generally, like, just not a good dude. Just really, really toxic to especially for, like, the women around him. He's the chief operating officer of Riot Games. He still is the chief operating officer at Riot Games. He got suspended for 2 months without pay, and then he's come back. And so I'm in the same boat as you are with this, and obviously I've said my piece a lot over the course of the last year about this, but it's like, yeah, it's cool that they're giving all of the women who have worked at Riot like a share of $10 million. I mean, I could see the argument that that's a drop in the ocean because, like, Riot Games is one of the biggest companies in gaming. Like, League of Legends is insanely, absurdly profitable. But it is something, like, but then I say that and I could feel the vomit rising in the back of my throat, where it's like they could give more.
It's just decent human. Just be decent to human beings, whatever sex you are or whatever. Just be decent, and this person has not been decent.
Yeah,
he needs to be removed.
But it's like anyone that's still working there. Yeah, it's like Scott Gelb still works there. Like,
yeah, you can't. No, I could. There's already the level between like male and female in the games industry is night and day. There are more men in game development than there are women. I've said multiple times. I've even spoke to like teachers at my college. I only have one woman in my class. Yes, I can appreciate it. If the women need to be interested in the development, I can appreciate that. They have to be wanting to do this, but it's a shame when you only see one person. And I think there's only like a couple of more in the other lessons, the other classes that we have there, and that's a shame to think that. And then you just think it scares the crap out of me. Just think, okay, they've now got their degree, they're brilliant, and now they're gone off and they get some crap like this.
Yeah, it's like you can go.
I don't want that. I don't want that. You see, it's just a terrible thing to think about this, and it's one of those things that just needs to be sorted out. He has to be removed for me personally.
I mean, I agree. It's like if the dude goes out, genuinely rehabilitates himself, right? Like I don't know what that looks like, therapy, counseling, whatever, however that looks like. If he goes away and genuinely rehabilitates himself and gets another job in the games industry and then never has another incident like has been detailed in the original Kotaku report, then fair enough. Like I'm all for redemption. Like, and if you've earned it and if it's genuine, then cool. But you can't keep him around at Riot Games because of his past actions. Like even if he has genuinely rehabilitated, which I don't believe he has in 2 months away, like then
no therapist would allow him to be off.
Yeah,
would allow him back.
It's still gonna be toxic just because of what he has done in the past. Like it's still not gonna be a comfortable working environment, and it's always gonna be at the back of someone's head now. Like wait, so let's say like he's responsible for the promotion of to a role in Riot Games, and he's responsible for that, and it's a man and a woman, and the man gets the job. That question is always going to be at the back of a lot of people's heads: is did he give it to the man because he was genuinely a better candidate than the woman, or because it's just Scott Gelb? But then it goes the other way, where it's like he could give the position to the man instead of to the woman instead of the man, or the woman or the non-binary person instead of the man. And then it goes the other way. It's like, did he just give that person the job because it's Scott Gelb, but he's trying to rehabilitate his image? And it's like, it's just too complicated.
Have that stigma for a while, yeah. He needs to go out, get himself sorted, stay out of the limelight, find a new job somewhere, and be honest. Like when you go for the interviews, just be honest and thinking, I've rehabilitated myself. I've done all these things and everything like that. I have signed documents from my doctors saying, yeah, I am fit for work. I have come to terms with what I've done and everything. But any person who's like wants to become a developer, and because of just what League of Legends has done in this thing, they hear things about this, they're not gonna want to go and work at Riot.
No, definitely not. Like you're walking into a hornet's nest at that point, right? Like,
yeah. And I don't mean just for women; I mean for men as well. They're gonna hear this, and they're gonna be like, "Nope."
But the issue is like we had the report, we read all about what's going on at Riot Games, and it's like that's what we've heard. So we've heard about this one developer. What about all the other developers where stuff like this no doubt happens? Like I've lost track of the number of times we've heard about different stories about different people being harassed in all sorts of like horrifically ridiculous ways, like at different developers. Like we've heard so many stories about from inside Rockstar, for example, which just like sent shivers like up my spine. Like we had the stuff come out earlier this year, I want to say, which was all about like the women who had been sexually harassed or assaulted by like indie game developers, and it's just like, and again, like all I think about is like that's just it's an iceberg, right? And all we're seeing is the tip of the iceberg, and underneath the water, it's just so much worse. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Like people like wanting to get into this industry, and they hear about stuff like this, maybe they don't want to get in this industry anymore, and I don't really blame them in that regard.
And that's a terrible thing to think.
Like, and that's horrible. Then I think the games industry is kind of horrible as well.
You want more creative people out there creating amazing games for the future for people to play and everything.
Yeah, like unhindered.
Things like, yeah, to not have to think about
this influential man has, because like just remembering one example, like this influential man who can like really help me along in my career has invited me up to his hotel room to do a VR demo, like, and not to think this could be bad, to just think cool, this could be a good thing for me. Like, yeah,
I hate things like this. Well, obviously, everyone hates things like this.
Yeah, it's horrible, but
it just like I just saw the documentary about Riot Games, like with the rise of League of Legends on Netflix, and when I saw it, I was thinking, damn, this is really good. Because I didn't really know much about League of Legends at all. I know that's a big phenomenon and everything, but just I think what it's done for the game industry alone has been amazing. And then you hear things like this, and you just go, yeah, did I just now makes me kind of want to rewatch it to say, okay, so
can you spot it?
Yeah, can I spot him? And I was thinking, okay, go away, shoot, leave me alone, get off my documentary.
Yeah, get off my documentary, get out of my video games.
Yeah, like if he can get himself rehabilitated, that's fantastic. That's what we want. That's what we want. This is the thing. Everyone's redeemable. Everyone deserves second chances, third chances, and everything like that. But
you've got to put the time in to make the effort.
Yeah, you have to make the effort. Yes, and for all we know that he has got better. I'm sounding like I'm condoning this for some reason. I don't want to. But he maybe has got better, but the article says there's women who are still very conscious, very worried, and everything like that. So it just gotta get him removed, man. Gotta remove him. And I don't want to see anyone lose their job, but you're making your place environment unworkable for people. And it's just not a good thing.
Yeah.
This could lead to multiple different things. This could lead to depression. This could lead to suicide, for God's sakes. And I would hate to think that, but it could. It can lead to so many different things. And just because you guys didn't do this one thing, this guy may have been influential for this game, doesn't mean he has the right to do what he's done.
Oh, 100%. Sometimes that's what it comes down to. Like, perceived rights and perceived privilege. Like, I co-founded the company, therefore I am entitled to do X, Y, Z. Fuck that. Anyway, let's move on to games out this week. We're done. We've got other things. Just I'm gonna stop at the beginning of podcasts saying what we're gonna talk about, and I'm just gonna make decisions on the fly. Because this is like twice in 3 weeks where this has happened. But we're just gonna skip the games out this week. Because Keith used to do this, and every time I say games out this week, it goes off in my head to say, Keith, what games are coming out this week? And then I'm like, I should do that because I'll make Mr. Moody feel bad because he's not Keith. But I just miss him so damn much. Anyway, on December 9th, I just letting you into the inner workings of my fucked up head. On December 9th, Ashen comes out on PS4 and Switch. On December 10th, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries comes out on PC. Avicii Invector comes out on PC and Xbox One. Hades comes over to Steam in early access. Call of Juarez Gunslinger comes out on Switch. Black Sad Underskin comes out on PC, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. And Hearthstone Descent of Dragons comes out on PC and mobile. And on December 11th, Transport Fever 2 comes out on PC. And we're going to end the show the way we've ended the show for the last 6 weeks, give or take, with the game I invented, which is let's guess the score. Ignore everything about results being from 2 weeks ago in the document, because that's not true. I just forgot to delete it from last week. So how this game works is I get a list of games that are coming out over the course of the next week that haven't already gotten reviews. And we try to guess the OpenCritic averages of what those games are going to get. You get 1 point if you're the closest. You get 2 points if you're dead on and you guess the score dead on. So last week, me and Patrick played. We guessed for Darksiders Genesis, which Patrick guessed would get a 72, and Amy, that's me, guessed would get a 67. It got a 79, which means Patrick gets the point. And Life is Strange 2 Episode 5, which Patrick, you're all on the same team. Technically. Yeah, because I've got it down as Amy versus co-hosts. But
Amy versus random person number one of the week.
I'm just going to get people who are shit at guessing stuff if I start losing. We also guessed Life is Strange 2 Episode 5. Patrick guessed it would get a 75. I guessed it would get an 80. It got an 85, which means I got a point, which means the result is a draw, Moody. And it's so close to the end of the year, I can't have that because the current scores are currently Amy 2, co-host 2. I was hoping this was going to be a tiebreaker, and then I was just going to leave it until next year when the bigger games started coming out, but I can't leave it at a draw. So we're going to play Guess the Open Critic Score for a couple of games that I have no fucking idea, not a clue how these are going to do, but we're going to guess them anyway. Mr. Moody, guess the Open Critic Score of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
Oh, God. 51.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know either. Like, MechWarrior 5, never played it. Didn't bother looking it up before I did this podcast.
MechWarrior 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have no idea there was a 1, 2, or 3, or 4 out.
So, yeah, I'm going for 70. It seems like a safe number. Maybe.
I went just over halfway.
Average. 1 point above average. You're welcome, MechWarrior 5, because that's exactly how OpenCritic works. Mr. Moody, guess the OpenCritic score of Hearthstone Descent of Dragons. I looked this up. Every other expansion for Hearthstone does have an OpenCritic average. So they have got enough reviews to get one.
79.
79. And I have got 70. See what I did there? I shrugged and said 70 for both of them. It's like the time because you were in the first one and then you missed the second one, so I don't know whether you caught this. It's like the time I guessed that Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games would get a 69 because that's the sex number. It got a 69. I was like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, at the time of recording the episode, it got a 69, and I only guessed that because sex is funny.
Oh, God.
That is gonna do it for this episode of the Words About Gamescast. You can tell that, like, I'm getting towards the end. Like, it's gonna be nice to have a break. It's like you spend like 50 weeks of the year, like,
yeah,
there's always something to do. Oh, I need to play this. Oh, I need to edit this. Oh, I just need to write this. Oh, I need to email this person. Oh, I need to message someone about the podcast. Like, this, that. And then, like, from, like, next week, it's going to be like,
I'm done.
I don't know. Like, apart from Golf Art, like, I don't really have...
Don't forget, you are coming back on the movie podcast to review.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm using Star Wars.
Skywalker.
But that's not work for me. That's like... That's almost like a vacation. Which is like, I just get hang out on a podcast and talk about a movie. Like, cool. I get to talk about Star Wars.
The inevitable awesomeness that is going to be Star Wars, because no Star Wars movie has ever been divisive.
No Star Wars movie has ever received any sort of backlash, so it's going to be fine. And plus, I just let you and Foxes do all the talking all the time. I don't know if you've ever noticed.
That's true. Well, I think it's going to be could be a 5-man podcast or a 5-person podcast. I should be saying that. I apologize.
Well, then I'm gonna be fine. I'm just gonna be feet up on this desk, lying back,
like,
and then every now and again,
I'll just be like, with what it was Ray?
I'll just be like, yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it. Bye.
It was a Star Wars movie. Gotta go. See you.
So long, people.
So long. See you next time. See when Star Trek's a thing. But not for real. Like, yeah, speaking of going, thank you for joining me, Mr. Moody.
Not a problem at all. Again, it was a pleasure all the time to come on here, Amy. Anytime. I will always come on if I can.
I will probably take you up on that next week, because next week is more or less going to be a sequel to this week's podcast. So, yeah. Cool. And then
we can bitch about how great Death Stranding's wins are. And there's no controversy at all in that.
Why did you have to bring it up? No, we were so close to greatness.
Well, the state of play will be greatness.
I want to invite you on a bunch of Game of the Year stuff as well. So.
We'll talk.
It's fine. I'll get no one I ever do podcasts with plays that many games. It's like the bane of my existence. I will get my people to call your people, but for now, say bye.
Bye.